No, no, yeah, no, 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 yeah, no, no,
Who's the louder of the two? No one will ever know.
Our mic's up?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a wonderful episode of Two Beers Deep Podcast. I'm your host, Deke, finally on the Twitch
Finally.
with my buddy Greg. Greg, what's going on, buddy?
Not much, man. What is going on with you?
Oh.
You look like you're on top of the world right now.
I am. This is the best day of my life. Boyd, Matt, Barrowman, what's up, brother? Birdman, let's get it. Guys, this is Brody. Brody is our newest intern.
Yep.
Brody is a cute pug.
He is very cute, must say.
With us, as always, Joshy Poo,
Hello,
who
everybody.
has been replaced by Brody.
No.
I feel like we should get like a hashtag going. Brody for intern. I love it.
Brody for president.
Brody for press would actually
right,
be better,
calm
actually.
down, brother.
Now I think about it.
Oh, it's amazing to me, the different types of shedding that come from different dogs.
Yeah, no kidding. It's
Ooh, what up,
very
Jumbo?
odd when you think about it.
Like, I would not expect Brody, because of his size, to be a shedder.
Oh.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Okay, I understand.
You know what I
now.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's a very short-haired dog.
Yeah.
He's doesn't look like the hair would come off him easy,
Right.
but he's a shedder.
Right. But
Yeah.
he sheds in quantum sizes.
Yeah.
Yeah. This shirt was white
Yeah.
when I walked in here today.
Yeah. Not surprised at all.
Right. Let's grab the beers, boys. 3, 2, 1, action. Oh, we got a fun-filled show for you guys today. We are at the El Sassy residence with quality Wi-Fi, which is, I don't know how, honestly, I'm going to say something.
What are you going to say?
I don't know how well the show is going to go if it runs smoothly.
What?
I'm not prepared to host a show that runs smoothly.
It's like you need chaos in this in order for it to actually go well.
Yeah, so there may be a time throughout the show I whip a beer against the wall.
Okay. If this was your apartment, maybe, but not when we're like in the home of the producer.
Just avoid my wife's books.
Yes.
And her
the Beyonce
workstation.
poster. Yeah.
And her Beyonce poster. And I think we'll be okay.
Yeah,
What about the
we'll
Michael
figure it
Scott poster, man?
That's mine. He
Yeah.
can break it.
Oh,
No, come on.
I'm just
I
saying.
would never break the Michael Scott. But what is up, guys? Welcome to Two Beers Deep. Thank you to everyone that is already over here in the chat. If everybody could send that dog emote, that's my favorite one. I don't even know if people have that. We got to come up with emotes when we get affiliate, by the way, too, Josh, which will be fun.
Okay.
They're all on there. It's not that hard. We'll make one of Brody. I'll make them. I'll make them
Official
up.
mascot of Thoughts from the Bench. I mean, come on.
Official. Now, here's my question, Josh. Are we getting free shout-outs? Oh, okay.
He is
Yeah,
loving-
talk about your beer, Josh.
It's pumpkin season, apparently.
It's pumpkin season, and I want to give a shout out to Ryan Thompson, friend of the program, who is the beer manager at the Whole Foods in Wexford. And he showed up yesterday with the first 4-pack that was delivered to his store of my favorite beer in the world. I know, I'm still wearing shorts, and it's a little early,
Little.
but
Here's what I'll say.
I don't care.
It's never too early for pumpkin beer, but you don't care apparently, so okay.
No, I don't care that I'm wearing shorts.
Oh, I thought you were
okay.
just like instantly don't
Okay.
give a fuck.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody that dropped some dogs. I love that. Boyd said I was going to complain about the stream, but it's actually my internet, so it looks great. Yeah, it does look great. We need a Josh emoji, a stressed Josh emoji.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
actually am
man.
down for a stressed.
We
Josh.
needed it like 30 seconds
So
before
okay,
the show went live.
here's my thing though. So Boyd says it's August, you pussy. I can't because I'm ready right now. And when I mean ready, I mean ready for the Gobblerito. And so I can't.
Your soul is ready. Your body
I
is
can't
ready.
shit on your need for pumpkin beer because I would eat a Gobblerito right now.
You know what it was, though? I think Mad Max kind of spoiled all of us with that because they had it in July as like a special thing, and now everyone just can't get it out of their mind now
We
and
need
want
a
it
Pat
back.
McAfee logo for Deeg. Yeah, I'll keep the glasses on for this one because that's it. I mean, stroke my ego, but that's not a negative thing. telling me I look like Pat McAfee.
mean,
I mean,
I think it depends on which Pat McAfee. Like,
I'll take them all.
like post-career Pat McAfee when he was still like kind of in shape and like whatever. Then there was like fat Pat McAfee
He's back in
after he left Barstool.
Well, he
and,
had
like,
to. Like he's wrestling next weekend, so like he had to get himself in.
Yeah,
now
actually,
he's back in shape.
Yeah.
Remind us. I want to talk about that like towards the end of the show because
Sure.
that is a legitimate topic. But let's dive into our first topic here, Josh.
What do you want to do first?
Pirates suck.
Okay.
All right, so we got a lot of suck going on. Gallarito over any pumpkin beer. Definitely agree with that. Love the Gallarito. The Pirates found themselves
Away
4.5
to Brewers.
games back from a team that has not yet played 5 games.
Yep, St. Louis Cardinals have not played in about a week because of a mass amount of COVID positives that occurred.
Yeah, I think
that team.
the funniest aspect of this entire thing is that people were so concerned. They're like, well, what do you do? And it's the big issue with football. It's what do you do if a team doesn't have the same amount of games played because of COVID? And in football, I mean, there's only a finite number of ways you can make up a game.
Yep.
You know, it's the bye week, and that's pretty much it. So for baseball,
Did try.
Well, the question comes up: how do you make up for games that are not played? It's honestly, it's not an issue
Yeah.
because the Pirates are going to blow it either way.
Well,
It's not a fucking issue because they're still
They're
going to beat the
4.5
Pirates.
games back of a
Still
shit
gonna
team.
beat
What's
the
it
fucking
matter?
Pirates, man.
all right, but to your point, though, in all seriousness, what MLB has actually done to try to make up for all those games, so like the Miami Marlins now have like multiple doubleheaders they have to do.
Yep.
They're doing 7-inning doubleheaders now to be able to make up for all
And
of those
baseball
games.
is the only sport you can do that.
Yes, baseball is the only sport you can do that.
Like I don't even think it would be humane.
Basketball, maybe?
I don't know if basketball
Too
would
much.
shorten
Too
games
much
like
running?
that, though.
Yeah, and you could do it with basketball, but you would have to. Like, here's the. It's tough because I don't think you could. I'm trying to say if you added maybe extra people to the end of the bench or something like that. But then you're getting guys like Zion complaining about 15 minutes because he's out of breath because he got
Zion's not
drafted.
in shape though, so that's like
Yeah.
the
No,
big
you get
difference.
drafted by. Or I mean, okay. If you have a weight issue, what are the cities you want to avoid? Because
That-
New Orleans.
New Orleans is definitely one.
Fucking up there, man.
Philly.
Philly, big
Mil-
cheesesteaks.
Milwaukee, cheese and
Yeah,
beer.
Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like LA and New York would be better because you could get high-end food.
Well, and you want to look good.
Denver.
Yeah.
There's no beaches in New Orleans.
Denver.
Why Denver?
Because weed's illegal, man. Get all the munchies and stuff from there.
Well, but he
Come
still
on.
couldn't smoke weed and
Weed-
play.
Yeah,
Well-
that's 1 and 2. Weed's legal like everywhere now. I mean, medically
that's
for most,
understa-
but it's
Yeah,
like
that's
I mean,
understandable.
it's you could say Seattle and
Yeah.
but on the list, New Orleans is like there. Like
New Or-
that is food.
New Orleans is
Central.
definitely top.
Everything's
Yeah.
fried,
I
everything's
could actually.
grilled. It's amazing.
Yep.
Maybe like send him to Florida so it's all fish, high protein, low calorie.
Miami is pretty like brutal when
He-
it comes to like
But
being
then
in
there's
shape
a
and
lot
stuff.
of cocaine.
You get cocaine, now, but you get skinny off cocaine.
That is
Yeah,
true.
it's true, too.
That is true. You do.
Honestly, if I would send him to the team that I would assume is like the healthiest, I would probably. Man, that's a tough question. I mean, you have to go with like LA
Man,
because of all the avocado shit.
I still got, I got to lean towards Miami. Like Pat Riley literally runs a boot camp like year
but we're
round
talking
for those
food.
guys.
We're
You're
talking
talking
food. We're not
wise?
talking about the way the team is run. We're talking about legitimized food. LA's all egg slut. That's a LA
Yeah.
spot. I've
Egg
been to
slut?
LA.
Love egg slut.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not in Sweden, but I have been to LA a number
Matt
of times.
says video quality seems way better here. You guys think that too? So we do look better because there was Googling and setting up of things to understand what bit rates and other technological words were.
There's a bunch of shit that's gone on.
Yeah, Josh
Don't-
has an
yeah.
alien computer.
Dude, Josh's setup is legit right here. I got to give him a...
Cameras are the same, which I think
Yeah.
is the craziest part because that's something that like I decided very early on that I was just going to get shitty mics when we started all this.
Yeah.
And they stood the test of time. And you
so
find
We've
out
had
that-
them
the
for a
cameras.
while, too, yeah.
Well, like, that's my point. Is like it seems to be more the equipment around than it is
Yeah.
those types of
Yeah.
things. So.
I mean, it's still the thing that you guys are on is still an HD camera. This Logitech is an HD camera. I mean, that's
Is that Bob Ross?
yes, it is.
Big
Gotta
fan.
love the fro, man.
So yeah, I mean, like that kind of stuff I knew how to buy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because that's my background. This board I knew how to buy.
Yeah.
But the computers and stuff are a smaller part of my background, and definitely not streaming has never been a part of my background.
So let's get back into baseball.
Sports?
Pirates situation. So the Pirates are 4.5 games back from a team that had only played 5 games. I don't think that this goes on my gravestone as many. Like, there's a couple takes in my life that go on my gravestone.
Like what?
Like Chris Godwin, which we'll get into later.
Man, that was just. I mean, come on.
In my defense, he still may have not lived up to the hype.
Man,
so
you're
in my defense,
you're
there may-
really trying to like fan the flames on that one though.
I mean, that's an honest thing. He may not have lived up as wide receiver 5 or 4, whatever it was.
All right.
I'm trying to think of some other universally bad takes. I remember once that I said when he was in college that Michael Carter Williams could be a Magic Johnson type player. And
I think that was after you saw him like destroy Pitt on that game winner.
Yes. So it was a game that I said, wow, he maybe has that.
Yeah.
And Seckley said, shut up. So there was one. Me saying that the Pirates have a shot at a pennant because it's a short season and we have a good bullpen. I'm not going to say it's one of my worst takes of all time, but it's definitely going down like the Hindenburg.
To your credit, when you said they had a good bullpen, that actually breathes life into this because literally all of their bullpen is on the injured list.
Yeah, so you don't even care enough to know that. That's impressive.
Yeah, so like basically that's your entire argument right there for why they could have competed, and it just absolutely messed up right there. But yeah, honestly, I knew this season was just it was gonna be like even if they did the entire 182 game season, you have a brand new front office in. You were going to kind of see what the lay of the land was, and then deals were going to be made. Charrington was going to look at the roster, decide what was worth value, and then maybe sell and see what happens. It's the nature of the beast when it comes to that with a new regime coming in. So I'm not surprised. Last I checked, I mean, at least there's some glimmer of hope. They're up 9-0 against the Reds last time I saw, so I'll take that. I'll take that for what it's worth.
Last bit of baseball talk before we move on. I do want to say that Bueno, I asked your question, and we got an answer for you that you can see in my vlog tomorrow, because tomorrow's vlog is going to be behind the scenes of Two Beers Deep. So I did ask your Bryce Harper question, saving it for tomorrow, my man. Let's dive over, Josh, into the fact that the Pens suck. That way you can actually start talking.
Man.
So I have a question to start it all off with.
Mm-hmm.
How long has Sergey Gonchar been on our team?
Holy shit, I thought he retired.
Oh, wow.
And if we fired him, was it to replace Jack Johnson as an actual player?
No, because GMJR loves that dude so much. He blamed, what was it? Like I saw the quotes too. He blamed Justin Schultz more than he did Jack Johnson for that horrendous performance.
Yeah, Schultz was bad.
Yeah, Schultz was very bad.
bad.
I'm not surprised though because I mean, I can understand it. Schultze's looking at this.
Speaking of headbutts, Brody just took one to the dome off the mic.
No wonder he's less.
Yeah, get in there and talk, Brody.
Yeah.
Brody, what do you think when Daddy yells about the Penguins?
Daddy's little bitch.
Wow.
Yeah, why would you say that?
All right, there you go.
Daddy's little punk-ass bitch. Oh my gosh, you potty mouth. Daddy's little pussy. Oh, come on. That's a mean one.
That is very mean to talk about.
Oh, okay. That's okay then.
Oh
Like a cat. Like wet-ass cat.
He does like cats.
Wop, wop.
Walk.
You would.
Walk.
Walk.
We do know that Greg does not like cats, though.
I do
Greg
not.
does not.
I hate cats with a passion.
might be out of a job soon, though, writes in.
Man.
No way.
I don't hate it, though, because hockey, as we described with guys like Bausma, is extremely turnover-friendly. Now, GMs, I don't know that, but I know coaches are pretty turnover-friendly.
So here's what I would say. The Penguins, for the first time since the 2000, I want to say 8 season, maybe even 7 season, will not be spending to the cap.
They won't.
As a franchise, they are a little strapped for cash because they're not selling out their building every night.
Getting rid of Letang.
We're getting rid of a couple of players, but they've furloughed a lot of people, and I don't necessarily see it being a scenario where they're going to fire their GM or their coach because they would still be on the books financially until some other team picks them up.
Yeah.
Now, Rutherford Sullivan, you would think would probably be picked up pretty quickly, but the Penguins, who are a small market team, would probably be less likely to fire a coach or a GM until fans are back in the stadium.
So Murray's gone.
Oh yeah.
Murray was never going. I can't say never. Depending on how he played this season.
Yeah, I was going to say, stands on his head, he might stick
Right.
around.
Depending on how he played this season dictated which one they went with. Jari's been the better goalie for over a year, and he will work cheaper. It's a facto. They'll keep Jari, trade Murray.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you trade Murray or do you let him walk?
Has anyone ever said lightning in a Jari?
No.
But,
Bo.
T-shirt.
Lightning in a Jari. Sorry, just, big brain.
Well, with regards to Murray, here's the issue with that. Right now, he's a restricted free agent.
Correct.
So you can trade his rights,
Right.
and essentially you'd get. I don't even know how much you'd get for that. I mean, I've
A
seen
draft pick.
like maybe like a second or third round
Yeah.
draft pick at best. So yeah, that's probably the best way to go because if you do the restricted free agency route, you essentially have to hope that a team sends an offer sheet and then decline it right away, and then you do that. But no team is going to send an offer sheet for Murray because they know the Pens don't want him.
Here's the other thing is basically, so getting Murray, trading Murray, all that does is give you the money to sign Jari. Nice Charizard emoji.
Thank you. I'm proud of that one.
But it doesn't necessarily get your cap down because you're going to basically pay Jari the money that you're paying Murray because you have to sign Jari.
Yeah, but that
But not as-
600,000 Jari's getting goes to some other scrub.
But it's not as much as what it would have cost for Murray, though. Murray
Correct.
probably would have been about 6-7 mil against the cap. Jari, I would bet you, is going to be about the same as Murray is
Correct.
right now at 3.
So when we're talking about guys that are going to go to create cap space, Bukestad's one of them. He's at 4 mil and has not worked here. I like Nick Bukestad. He always had the physical attributes, but has never been able to make it work consistently. Another guy that you might see go, Connor Sheary.
yeah,
Did we
he's
just scrape him in this year?
he's a free
We
agent.
literally brought him in this year.
He's also a UFA too.
He's a UFA. He did not rekindle that whatever he had on Sid's line.
Did we change the pronunciation of his name?
Yeah, it was like Sherry, and now it's Sheary.
But I'm saying the last time he was here was the big, that's not how it's
Yeah.
pronounced. Did we pronounce it differently
I thought
this
it was
time?
Buffalo
Yes.
when
And
he
should-
made the
he went to
announcement.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying,
Went
though.
to-
We
yeah.
should have kept pronouncing it the other one.
Right.
Because the second we change it, he's poop-poop.
Yes.
Not that he was great before, but...
There was also famously a player by the name of Derek Roy, and it's spelled R-O-Y, and everyone called him Derek Waugh, and he's like, actually, it's not. And everyone's like, well, nobody cares
Everyone's
about
like,
you
you're
anymore."
not foreign.
Right,
he wanted to
yeah.
be synonymous with Patrick Waugh, apparently.
Yeah, pretty much.
I would have read that to the end of the
So,
earth.
no Bukestad, no Sherry, whatever the fuck you want to call him.
Sherry.
Yeah,
Probably try to move a Hornquist,
he's making a lot of money for how old he is.
Maybe.
Yeah,
but who's going to take him?
Shut up, Vo. He's not great.
You can try to move a Jack Johnson, but again,
no
who's
one's
going to take him?
No.
So then you kind of get into the scenario where you're looking at a Letang. There's no part of me that ever thinks Malkin, unless Malkin wants out, will be traded.
And I'm also a big believer that I think Crosby wants Malkin to stay too.
Well, it has nothing to do with Sidney Crosby. I mean, not that the team's reflection is not of Sidney Crosby, because it is.
Do they? You
But-
think they ask him?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
they
what I-
admitted.
that's what I thought you
Did
were-
you read
yeah.
the Athletic article with Yoey?
No. If you are athletic,
The one,
you don't have to read
the one
athletic.
from this morning with.
It just comes to you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's why I'm in the middle.
Are you
Yeah.
talking about? Are you talking about the one from this morning with Yoey
Yeah.
or okay,
Yeah. So, Sullivan and Crosby both admit that they talk. They have a weekly standing meeting, and they talk about the team, his line in particular, and how he feels. Okay.
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall this past weekly meeting.
So
Oh, God, yeah.
Apparently,
'Cause he walked in, he's
according
like,
to this same
"Little
article,
bitch."
Sullivan was not verbose in any way, shape, or form during that Montreal series.
Yeah, he was very laid back and almost kind of assumed that his team was going to come up and absolutely
Figure it
do work.
out.
Yeah,
but they do. You know what I mean?
They haven't in the playoffs lately.
No, but
is that crazy though?
yeah,
He's
that's a good
basically
point, too.
he's resting on his laurels when he really shouldn't in this case. If history
I
over the last
think-
2 years has
okay,
shown
I'll
it.
so-
bring that up here in a second.
Last year when we're talking about the Islanders, I said going into it, and I don't know if I was on the show or not, but I said last year going into it, the Islanders are a bad matchup. Barry Trotz is the only person that's ever toppled the Mike Sullivan Penguins.
That's true. He,
And
Totems.
well, until this year.
Yeah.
And they play a trap system, which slows
Ooh.
down our speed.
New Jersey Devil-esque too, which basically
It
always
was.
Yeah.
So you run into the you run into the scenario. The
Matt
chat
also
is
answered
insane.
me and said that I saw that guy on the pizza thing this week. So you're very famous. I want
I have a bunch of sponsorship deals. I don't know if you saw the
God.
Instagram today.
I got
It's-
a bombardment of that before, but I've never been picked up by like the eHarmony of Craigslist.
It's all sorts of shit, man.
He's great. Shut up. Sherry is not great. It's pronounced Sherry or douchebag Boyd. He says, "Why would you want to move Hornquist, friend of the net monster? Just a lot of money."
A lot of money and he's banged up.
Yeah.
That's you could get rid of a Hornquist because
tacos.
there's like for a perfect example, JT Miller
Cool
and Ryan Callahan have both found new life as older players. They play a very similar style to Hornquist. JT Miller in Vancouver and Callahan
Isn't
in
TJ Miller
Tampa.
the actor?
Yes.
Wow, that's funny.
JT Miller is the hockey player.
Is it? Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would butcher that.
JT Miller, Pittsburgh boy.
The hockey player or the actor?
The
hockey player.
Hockey player.
Okay. The actor did the hockey movie in Pittsburgh, so it's a little confusing.
There's a lot there.
It's a little-
There's a lot going on
There's
there.
a lot to unwrap there. That's wow.
It's not necessarily that I want to move Patrick Hornquist. I think he's a dynamic player still. I think he fits well on 3 of your 4 lines, which is crucial, especially
He's
because
the only one that tries, is what Bo says.
I would agree that when you were watching against that Montreal series, you still got the feeling that certain guys were out there trying, and he was one of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like Hornquist a lot. It's a money thing.
Yeah.
And you have a Brandon Tanev, you have a Jared McCann who kind of
McCann's also a restricted free agent too, so you got to figure
gotta
out what to do
sign
with him.
McCann.
Yeah.
gotta sign McCann.
How much longer do we have this? Is it Marino? The
We
Italian
have
sounding-
Marino for at
We
least.
just signed him.
Yeah, we have Marino for. He has 1 year left with us, and then he's a restricted free agent. But I bet you they absolutely
I like
lock
that
him into a
cat.
big extension.
Especially when you let Letang go.
Yeah.
Oh, and also keep in mind, Justin Schultz will not be back next
Yeah.
year.
Marino-
He's an unrestricted free agent.
Marino is essentially the guy that I think they've pegged as like the heir apparent to Chris Letang.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Marino,
plays like it.
Pedersen, and Dumoulin are your
Give me
your,
6 Dumos and I'm happy.
your
They're-
big 3 moving forward.
They're high on that dude they got in the Phil Kessel trade, the Pierre-Olivier Johnson.
Yeah,
too.
Pierre's huge.
Pierre-Olivier
So
Johnson.
Pierre's going to look a lot like Jamie Alexiak for those of you who are old school fans, but has a lot more offensive upside. So
Lot
imagine
younger.
Paul Martin, but Jamie Alexiak sized.
and a lot younger too.
Younger. The one problem with him, he actually has a disease where he can't put on weight.
Really?
Yes.
No, fuck that. Okay.
No, seriously,
so
he
what
has like
douche.
a tough time.
What a fucking douche.
Like he's malnourished or something and can't
Seriously.
put on weight. So he's like 6'6" or something crazy, but like a $140.
I don't believe that's a real
So he's
thing.
Greg but tall.
That's like my dream right there.
There you go.
God damn.
Yeah.
I want to be Pierre-Olivier Johnson then.
Pierre, Larry, Greg.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean the Penguins next year, hopefully they do look different. Rutherford threatened that they're going to look different.
They should.
They've already fired all of their coaches, despite the fact that I think Jacques Martin is one of the greatest
Shocker,
hockey
Sergei Gonchar's
minds
still there.
ever.
Are you surprised they let go of Gonchar?
No, Gonch was very much there as a Malkin blanket. And-
Gonchar was also like credited a lot with being kind of like the revitalization guy with their defense.
Do they actually fucking call him Gaunch?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gonch.
Oh, that is the unless it's the Magic Gaunch from SpongeBob. That's like the worst nickname. That sounds
Yeah,
like an STD.
Gaunch.
You mean the Magic Conch?
That's the joke.
Oh,
That's like the fucking.
My bad.
I say jokes, you laugh.
just went over my head. Sorry.
Jesus.
I know.
Christ. How
I'm
long have we
struggling
been doing the
today.
show?
Struggling today.
Let's transition.
Okay.
hang on. Let me get another beer in me, and then maybe I'll laugh more at your stuff.
Probably not. You've already laughed a lot.
This is Greg's third beer. He's still not
Yeah,
laughing.
Greg's gonna die.
Um.
I want to transition to NCAA.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Do you want to do NCAA or you want to do Big Ten, Pac-12?
Well,
I mean, they're both kind of.
let's cover Big Ten, Pac-12 first,
Okay.
and then we will discuss my theory for what the world will happen. So Big Ten, Pac-12, they're not playing college football, and I believe the Big 12, which combination of those two, if you didn't know.
Oh, it's
the-
like a polymerization.
yes,
Crazy.
Well done.
Yeah.
The Big 12 is playing, apparently, but
Apparently.
just in conference. But the Big 10, which I believe to be
Say it.
the
Say it. Whisper naughty things in my ear right now.
worst conference.
Fuck you, don't say that shit. That's not nice.
Ever. No, I believe the Big Ten to be the most transparently top-to-bottom conference.
Yeah.
The Pac is here and there. It depends on the quarterbacks. I mean, if Oregon has a quarterback, they normally win it. But USC is always there and UCLA. But I just don't care about it. And the
Is
SEC is so
State-
top-heavy.
Is
yes.
what?
Waz State's
Waz
air
State's
raid.
Pac-12, yeah.
Pac-12 is amazing.
Air raid
but
offense.
Yeah.
There's only two conferences you should always bet the over on, and it's Pac-12
Yep.
and Big 12.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they just got the weirdest effing teams. But the Big Ten being out, I do want to bring up for one reason,
Okay.
and one reason alone. I still stand by the fact that Justin Fields is as good a quarterback as Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, I know.
And I do
have
believe
heard
there-
this many
This
many
is,
times.
in my mind, the Joe Burrow 2-0 that we should have got with Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. Justin Fields is on QB1 on Netflix. He's out of Georgia, signed with Georgia. He left because Jake Fromm was the starter there,
Right.
and he said, I want to start now. Goes to Ohio
Jake
State.
overrated is what I call him.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
he wa-
you don't
he-
get drafted by the fucking Bills to be a backup for a guy that just got drafted by the fucking Bills 2 years ago.
That's true, and also the fact that Jake Fromm also took over for a guy that was considerably probably a better prospect than Jacob Eason at the time, but he was just such a good game manager and led them to a national title that it's kind of like it's hard to push away from him.
Did Easton go to the Saints?
Ooh, I
Jacob
don't know.
Eason?
Can you look it up?
I
Jacob
don't know
Eason?
where Jacob Eason went
He
actually.
did not go to the Saints because that was where everyone mocked him to because they really needed to take him. Don't tell me. Give me 2 seconds. Jacob Eason was drafted by the Colts. Colts.
I think it was the Colts. Yeah,
Show me Colts.
Indianapolis Colts.
There it
Let's
is.
go.
Draft analyst, baby.
Forgot about that.
Jake
yeah.
Fromm is not good though. Or not a good dude though. Oh, I didn't know about that one. My thing about Jake Fromm is that he was a broke man's Tim Tebow, which is a broke man's quarterback. He was in a good system. He had a bunch of heart. He would do everything in his power to win the games. Not playing style in the sense of like, well, actually, yeah, playing style. Stick by. But he's peaked. Jake Fromm peaked heavily at Georgia.
Okay, that's fair. Jake Fromm did peak, but poor man's Tim Tebow, though. I
Yes.
mean, Tim Tebow was like, like when he played, like Tim
Do you
Tebow.
not know what poor man means?
Yes, I understand
Okay,
that, but
alright.
like
wanted to
Jake Fromm, I feel like considering as a poor man though, Jake Fromm essentially just kind of remind me of every other average college quarterback that you could think of. Jake Fromm honestly was basically AJ McCarron without the national titles.
It's tough for me to say I disagree because I believe
He was a game manager.
Jake Fromm had. I would pin Jake Fromm closer to Baker than I would AJ McCarron.
Okay, that's
In the sense of leader, in the sense of the locker room
That's
was around
fair.
him.
I
but
think-
talent-wise, I'm with you.
But I like what Greg's saying because I don't ever think Georgia needed to rely on their
Oh, yeah, those are
quarterback.
bad
No,
talk.
they
the
never
way
did.
that Baker was dominant.
Well, that's
at
what I'm
quarterback.
saying though. If you talk about attitude and you talk about leadership, I mean, he chased away two of the best recruited quarterbacks we've seen in
True.
Justin Fields and
True,
Jacob
true,
Eason.
true.
But I would also argue too that was more Kirby Smart just looking at it as I don't want to rock the boat with my offense because I have a quarterback that can essentially just do everything I ask of him and do it
Well, except
well enough
win
to win.
natties.
Yeah, he didn't win a natty, but that was just because they had a superior talent just absolutely take over a game for them.
But back to the Big Ten, Pac-12 shutting down. The real reason that it is so impactful is because to this date, to this moment in time, the NCAA has yet to put out a statement, has yet to say one thing about whether leagues should or conferences should shut down, this and that, which kind of leads me to my next point. I formally believe that these conferences could leave the NCAA tomorrow and nothing would happen because the NCAA covers two things: amateur status, transfer portal. They godly fuck up the transfer portal each year.
Yeah.
I mean, how are you going to tell me that certain guys can transfer and play the same year, but if you transfer to some specific school, you have to wait an entire year of eligibility, which is money for that? Why can't you?
Yeah.
And I understand the whole, like, well, we just don't want people transferring year.
Right.
But, you can't tell me that these kids are taking that much knowledge with them because the playbooks are so dumbed down that you're showing memes and GIFs on the sideline. You just are. And if you know those, okay, they just switch them out. And two, the understanding that a guy could then bounce. If you transfer, you have to be there for 2 years. Boom. Easy. You can play right away, but you got to be at that school for 2 years.
You know what? That would be kind of sick, though, if it wasn't even a 2-year thing and you had, like, super fucking teams. Like UCLA, for an example, is a program that used to be historic, like amazing program, has sucked lately.
Yep.
But like, could you imagine if like Trevor Lawrence is like, you know what? I'm tired of getting beat up by fucking Alabama I'm out, right? And then like, I don't know. So let's say Saquon was still there. You know what I mean? Like you just start picking the best players, and the next thing you know, you have like this sick offense in UCLA.
It's like the NBA version of free agency,
dummying people.
Yeah.
Dummying people in the Pac-12.
Well, it's. I mean, and I hate to bring it back to parody and comedy, but Blue Mountain State, the show on Spike, basically brought up this entire thing that the NCAA is a nonprofit that regulates the way these leagues are crafted to the point where you don't need them at all. The only thing you actually need on the NCAA is maintaining amateur status, which is only to then play in the NCAA. So the schools don't give a shit.
But what about, okay, so the conference obviously has its own front office, its own, schedule makers,
with
all that
balls.
kind of thing. Right. So is it all the conference presidents are going to sit down and they're going to be like, my top 2 teams, your top 2 teams, and create a actual playoff thing?
So, okay, so here's what I thought that was just extremely fascinating about this week, by the way. When you actually sat down and you saw the fact that there were 5 of the big power conferences that had to figure out on their own what they wanted to do, by the way, that just kind of made you realize just how insignificant the NCAA is. I kind of attested to, and Josh might get the reference a little bit more to this, like the fact that you have these 5 separate conferences that have to dictate everything that's going on around them. It's essentially the territory days of wrestling in a weird way.
Yeah, except for there's no overarching. Oh, I guess.
Yeah, there isn't, because NCAA was kind of like the idea of that. Like back in that, it was the NWA, but like so and so. But aside from that point, though, it's mind-boggling to me that we are now at that point now where there's this big realization that of the 5 biggest conferences in all of college football and all of college sports, there's not really like one overarching entity that can make decisions based on that too. Because you're now seeing just how absolutely unorganized this entire concept is from that perspective right there. It's crazy to me, because you would think that in terms of getting all 5 of them together, they would just have one consensus idea. It can't be just a regional concept, essentially, where the Big Ten is essentially like the North and maybe like a little bit of the East, and the Pac-12 is the West Coast.
It's significantly regional now.
It is, and that's what's crazy about it, because if you look at it from this perspective, the entire reason that the Big 12, the SEC, and the ACC are still playing is because how much that conference and those games mean to that specific region right there. Because the SEC, essentially, there's nothing else.
It's bigger than the NFL. And
it is.
I mean, Alabama doesn't care about the NFL.
It is. It's huge. If you cancel the SEC season right there, that just absolutely guts everything that could potentially go on within that region for an entire year right there. Like, there's towns that rely on that economy, and of course, you're not going to get. I don't even think you're going to get fans there. I mean, God forbid.
You can't have fans.
I mean, God forbid you're going to try to force it, because I mean, I read stuff that. I mean, fuck, Jerry Jones is going to try to get people into the stadium for Dallas Cowboys games, too.
You don't build that castle if you don't want people in it.
Yeah, but that's going to be probably the same thing for the SEC. I bet you they try to get fans in there just for that fact.
The difference between this and if you look at the NCAA in its football realm, like you look at a business, there is the company, there are a bunch of divisions, so it's a holding company. It's a holding company that has brands underneath it, right? The problem here is, if a brand, so let's say it was Pepsi Cola and underneath it is Dr. Pepper, Pepsi, Diet Pepsi, you know what I mean? Like all those different entities.
Right.
If they wanted to leave, Pepsi Cola would say, leave whatever, we're going to reinvent a brand new one, and it doesn't matter for our distribution. It doesn't matter for our money. The difference here is that the NCAA is nothing without these conferences.
Right.
It literally is nothing. And you could say, oh, well, we're going to pick up other conferences. There are no other conferences past the Big 10, Big 12, PAC, SEC, ACC.
The American.
I mean, no.
Say the American.
That's the point, though. They would try to bring in conferences like the American and pump them up, or they would try to go after FBS schools. Or is it FCS?
It's FBS for like the main ones?
No.
FBS.
Where did Carson Wentz play? FCS?
FCS,
Yeah, they would go after FCS schools and try to get them to transfer. I mean, fuck. Could you imagine Alabama going to FCS? And being like, look, the NCAA has this rule, this rule, this rule. It's stupid, or whatever. Like, obviously, it's still NCAA, but my point here is being there is nothing provided to these schools that they cannot get for themselves through football.
That's really
Correct.
true. Like, the NCAA at this point, and that's what I found so fascinating about this week, we've essentially They really should. If they were the governing body that everyone kind of says they are, they should have been the ones to come down on the forefront and been like, we are not doing this. But instead, you're now relying on the conferences to make their decisions on their own now.
I mean,
At the
it's
Did
state-
the
It's
NCAA
states
not
versus
cancel
fucking
the tournament, the basketball tournament?
They canceled the tournament, but that's
Teams
because
sat out first.
That's true. Duke said we weren't going to play.
yeah, but that's also like the fact that it is specifically the NCAA tournament. Like with college
That's the
football,
difference,
with
too.
college football,
It's not the NCAA college football playoffs.
yeah, it's not.
It's college football playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, Division II, FCS,
is, but-
FCS. I mean, it is NCAA, but like aside from that, like college football, like they actually don't market like NCAA at all in any.
And most of the TV deals are done with individual schools or
Yeah.
conferences.
SEC Network, ACC Network, you get
Yeah.
those types of games. I mean, if you think about looking at March Madness, it's deals for specific matchups. It's not deals like the whole tournament is a deal, and that's one of the biggest marketing deals in the face of the planet. Like it's up there with the Super Bowl.
Right.
March Madness is for like TV deals, but the NCAA as a whole does nothing. But I do want to get to what you pulled up,
Yeah.
which is it's a bit of a double-edged sword. And what I mean by that is there's two ways to look at racial comments by white people when they are drafted. A, Jake Fromm was an absolute idiot. Jake Fromm should not have said anything. I mean, he was a piece of shit for this. But there are also instances that you look at and say, on the other end of the spectrum, and not for this situation, but on the other end, which is one, oh, he was just a kid, or two, oh, he's learned his ways, or three, and there's instances on both sides of the ball where people dig up tweets from these kids.
Oh, yeah, that's very
and-
true.
And it's an instance to bring down somebody's happy party, but at the same time.
I'm so sorry. I just gave
No.
Greg the stone cold
Beer.
me.
Yeah.
And just good friends. Reading each other's mind.
we
But
know.
there is an instance of like this situation that is being asked and brought up in the comments. More than comfortable talking about it. But there's also instances of things where like Mitch Trubisky said Saturdays are for titties, and they found that
I'm
tweet.
sorry that was in everybody's ears.
And they
Which is like-
tried to use that tweet to ruin him. So there's a double-edged sword here of people that are in cancel culture that are
Didn't
digging
it-
up.
I
old
mean-
things.
His play ruined him.
Saturdays are for
Yeah,
titties.
Didn't
like,
need any help
that
with
did
that
not-
one.
Hey, he
That
didn't say-
did not
well,
ruin me.
If Sundays were for tutties, it would be a much different story. But the Jake Fromm story, Josh, you want to dive into that a little bit?
Oh shit! I
Which
just
was
pulled it away.
basically it was brought up around draft time.
Yeah, basically, so he was texting somebody and said that he was expressing his desire to keep his Second Amendment rights, and then said that he believes suppressors should be legal, but so expensive that only elite white people can buy them.
Now, just out of curiosity, like how long ago was that tweet that he sent?
It was a text.
It was
It
a
was
text,
text?
and
Okay.
it was because
Which
it
is
also he
almost
goes
worse.
He goes, it's during quarantine because he goes, I see the Black Lives Matters movement, and then something bad about that.
It was not during quarantine.
It was not during
Jake Fromm's
quarantine.
comments came out when he was drafted.
It came
but-
out in quarantine.
So I think the Black Lives Matter movement has been around for a while. I would say a couple years
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
It just predominantly brought up again with the death of George Floyd.
Sure.
But the movement itself has been around with Tamir Rice and a couple of Antoine Rose and stuff like that. So it was not long enough ago. It was not long enough ago that I would have been like
He's not
shocked
16.
if the Bills cut him. Yes. Jake Fromm is he's one of those fringe guys that you do like the Seattle Seahawks cut a cornerback today.
Yes, they did.
Oh,
my
God,
god,
that was so
that
funny.
story's incredible.
Also, the Suns are 8-0 in the bubble. Son of a bitch. I bet against them twice in the early games. Anyway, so yeah, the Seattle Seahawks cornerback tried to sneak a girl by dressing her up in Seattle Seahawks gear
Which,
to make it
like,
look like she was on the
can
team.
we give the man some credit? He at least tried.
He went.
Like I would give him some credit for trying.
That's a lot of effort for a
I
booty
would
call,
have
man.
I would have suspended him, not cut him, because he put in the effort to lie or try
Here's
to
why
cheat it.
I don't think he deserves credit.
Okay.
He is in the NFL, which is very cool, and you're part of a team.
He's also a rookie.
I think you're. Is it 72-man roster still? They haven't cut down yet, I don't think, or 70.
Yeah.
It's not the 53-man.
No,
So
it's-
you're on the team, but you're not on the team.
Yeah, so it's I mean your training camp roster, so like 90, I'd say.
And I don't want this to be taken as misogynistic, but at the same time, what girl is sneaking in with? I don't know if he was a 7th or 6th round draft pick, an undrafted guy. That's
I might
not
have
even
been,
on the
I think
final
he was
roster,
undrafted,
right?
honestly.
There's a lot of situational stuff here that makes me think that he could have waited. This wasn't like a one-time. This was somebody I think he knew and had a relation with, because no one hits up an undrafted cornerback. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute. What if they went like in Scrubs, like Giant Doctor, where like he was the bottom and she was the top, and they tried to.
So they dressed up like Jadeveon Clowney and tried to sneak in.
Yes.
Where he was the top and she was the bottom, and they're like, "Oh, Jadeveon, you're back," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm back." Yeah.
Dude, that's great.
He would have gotten credit for that. All right.
Pete,
That's
don't play
great.
that
I
shit.
just need to know.
Pete
But
definitely don't play
seriously,
that
like
shit.
this dude was a rookie, and the idea of potentially making an NFL roster was like right in his path, and all he had to do was just essentially follow the rules, and he couldn't like hold down for like
Which
a week.
brings up the point that I've been in an ongoing debate with Dre, because Dre thinks that I'm stupid for saying that there's potential to not be a season, even though we've had the conversation with Alex Kozora. And Dre keeps throwing out these statistics like, well, only 1% of the players or less than 1% are tested positive, this and that. I'm like, Dre, you have professional athletes making millions of dollars traveling the country. Mm-hmm. And you're going to tell me you trust all of those guys to not miss steps.
I'm so sorry. Isn't Dre on a podcast
for baseball.
for baseball?
Yeah.
Baseball. Well, Dre's my rival in fantasy.
and he has no
much of a
no trepidations about the NFL.
Yeah. So
What?
Dre believes that you should, and when I say clip this. Dre believes that you should trust the NFL players to police themselves. And the argument against that has been, well, they can't police themselves against sneaking people in. They can't police themselves against a Darius Geist situation.
Yeah.
They can't police themselves on a lot of different issues. So we're just supposed to assume that these gentlemen that I have no actual bearing if they do right or wrong in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I just, you know what I mean? Like, we don't. There are guys on. If you could name every player on the Steelers like Alex could in high school, and I kid you not, Alex Kozora, I should have brought this up on the show, literally used to name them in order of their jersey number.
God
Every Pittsburgh Steeler.
God damn, I love
But
that
no,
kid.
Dre's a big poo-poo fit. Like, what do you like, it's the weirdest. Dre, you suck.
Okay.
Clip it.
I hit it.
Okay, so even though the fact that this kid was a rookie and he tried to do this, I could see some argument in there and being like, this kid was dumb. He was trying to like have a quickie or something while in training camp and probably thought he could get away with it. So maybe that's not an entire way to look at the entire NFL. But then again, if you're thinking about it from this perspective, they just had a conversation about the NBA bubble, about trying to put like a rule in about trying to let significant others into the bubble and how you're allowed to do it. So I can see the
here's
logic.
the bigger point,
and I can see the logic.
A guy on the PGA Tour. Him and his
Yeah.
caddy broke protocol and got fined and suspended.
Yeah.
Lou Williams goes out and gets wings at a strip club with Jack Harlow.
Hey.
Jack Harlow.
It's my favorite story that's come out of the
Two
bubble.
Cleveland Indian pitchers went out on the town in Chicago and had to go home after that too.
Here's my point. You're going to tell me that 52 guys across 32 teams are all going to police themselves.
Hell no.
And here's
They have no idea
so
what they're doing.
here's something Greg talked about briefly, and he didn't even know he was talking about this. He said
Greg talks a lot
he
when
was
he
a
talks.
kid who thought he could get away with a quickie.
You think she's pregnant?
No. Back to the NCAA point. Sending these kids home, these football players that you have plucked from the small town in Florida or Alabama or wherever the fuck Texas you found them.
Yeah.
Going home for these
Probably
kids,
southern Texas.
going home for these kids is going to be worse than
No.
if they got to stay on campus and play football and maybe they got sick.
If Aaron Hernandez got drafted by any other team, he would not be dead or in jail.
If
Going
Aaron-
back to your hometown is
Wow.
never a good idea.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I was like, where does that come
Yeah.
to? But like, I think about,
Just
go
big Aaron
back,
Hernandez
go back
guy.
and watch, or I'm sure the new season has it in it too. Go watch fucking Last Chance U.
Oh no, there's
Natty writes in, how the fuck do I get notifications for Twitch? Something my Caucasian brothers.
Oh no, that's actually
Natty, ring the bell, hit subscribe on the Twitch channel, and it'll send a push notification
No,
to your phone.
Josh, you actually bring up a good point because there have been conversations about how the fact that most of these players are probably safer like within the bubble confines of their team on campus than they are like spread out across from that.
There's got like so.
That's actually
Derek got a little bit of a taste of it, but I worked in college sports for 4 or 5 years. Okay,
Well, I played college sports, so.
Right. Excuse me.
I mean,
the only
someone,
D1 athlete.
Someone ate at the buffet, and other people got a taste of it.
Right.
I am a D1 athlete.
NBD.
So, but here's what I want to get at is I've been in these hometowns. I've been in these kids' houses. There's offensive linemen trying to sleep in a child's bed in their normal house. And you're going to promise them this scholarship and this life. And a lot of guys, even if they don't make the show, are better off for it and then turn around and change their life. I'm thinking of an offensive lineman that went to Rutgers. I'm going to leave him nameless. But he lived in a house that was the size I live in with 7 other kids.
Damn.
7 kids. There were 3 of them in a room.
That's a lot.
Well, I mean, Javon Kinlaw, one of the greatest stories of the
that's
recent
true.
draft.
That's true.
Came out of JUCO, and he didn't understand that the food at the school was already
free.
paid for.
Right.
Like he didn't he didn't eat because he didn't get that.
Yep.
That is the thing that they dangle in front of. That's why the NCAA is going down. The conferences, I do believe, genuinely care about the athletes because they are employees of the school.
I know that the schools care about their kids.
That's the difference.
I know for a fact the school cares about their kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so the offensive lineman basically, like, I went to his house to go film his mom and all sorts of stuff. And
I just want to say one thing. Do we want to announce Greg Scalp has kicked off Dungeons and Douchebags now? Or do we want to talk about Greg Scalp being kicked off Dungeons and Douchebags later in the show? So we'll
I actually do not
up,
know this.
Greg
Holy crap.
I mean, he's your Ganassi brother, so as Dungeon Master,
I need to know this.
I would say that you get to pick one of your forms of brothers. Do you want Fish to be your brother, or do you
We
want
actually had a
Greg
good idea
Scalp
on the
to be
way
your brother?
home.
Uh-oh.
Fish should be the Griffin.
So
that is
I
funny,
also
yeah.
we're really fucking veering off course today.
Fuck Austin.
Yeah. But basically, I do have other players Fish could play. Other non-playable characters that could easily become playable characters for Fish. So,
right.
anyway.
That was just Greg Scalps in the chat.
Tune into Dungeons and Douchebags. Next one would be what? June?
The first week of
September 6th.
Did he say June?
Yeah, my mind's like out of whack right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, what the point I'm trying to get across is that the schools care about these kids, and the NCAA saying nothing, like, to me, it just means, like, it's fucked.
If I was going to give you the username Shrek Did It 420, who would you assume that is? It's somebody that kind of looks like if Shrek and Wayne Rooney had a baby, but way
I want to
shorter.
talk about Deke's intimate defeat in foot golf.
It's somebody, if Wayne Rooney and Shrek had a baby, but they were way shorter.
Would it be somebody whose girlfriend is more successful than them?
I would say that I'm not going to confirm or deny, but confirm.
A successful entrepreneur girlfriend, perhaps, that may be the first official sponsor of Thoughts from the Bench.
What up, Dennis?
Maybe.
Daddy says I can't wait for Moorhead's ranking because I may have messed up the poll. I don't think Moorhead's ranking is the quarterback poll. I think that's just a blog thing.
Yeah, Moorhead's ranking, I believe Greg is going to be very upset.
Upset?
Upset.
Well, that would be on par.
Wait. Upset because of the topic or upset because of the order?
Because of the order.
Okay.
I was, as making graphics today, I was yelling at the computer, like, what the fuck? How is that person where they are?
The Spurs' streak of 22 straight playoff appearances snapped.
No! Pop!
God
He won me
damn it.
$300. Natty said, or sorry, Natty didn't say. What was the other one I was trying to get? Lou Williams wasn't there for the wings. He was there for the legs and thighs. I texted my buddy Austin and was talking to Knapp about it, and I said, yeah, I can't believe Lou Williams stopped at that leg and breast joint.
I mean,
Jokes
you blame
write
him?
themselves sometimes. So jokes
Yeah.
write themselves. I want to talk about one more topic before we bring on the ranking, and that is Morikawa.
Whoa, wait, no, what?
Kidding.
What are you talking about?
Giannis.
What are you talking about? You want to jump to Morikawa right now?
Bring up the Morikawa.
Okay, hang on. Let me pull up the clip.
Morikawa.
Oh yeah, baby. Let's see it.
God damn.
Hole 16.
This was beautiful.
At least you're seeing it live because we're gonna get flagged on.
Oh
Oh.
no, because there's no sound on it. They won't know.
Oh. Gotta
Those
love it.
idiots, those blind idiots.
Gotta love it.
Look
Oh.
at that.
I would like to bring up the simple fact that Morikawa is the next great thing in golf, and I think we can leave it at that.
All right, first off, real quick, is that the best par 4 drive you've probably ever seen?
Yes.
I
I would say that beats anything that I've seen from Tiger.
That was amazing. The bounce on it was
On a par
just,
4 drive,
just
not a shot.
magical, by the way. All right,
Perfect.
So with
Proud of
regards
you,
to Morikawa, first off, I will say this from the get-go. I believe the top 10 from that tournament were all, I believe half of them were under the age of 28, which is scary.
Golf is in good hands.
Golf is in phenomenal hands right there, which that reason alone makes me a little skeptical about Morikawa being the next great one, just for the fact that golf, I don't think has ever been as deep as it is with regards to
That's
talent.
what Phil said on Thursday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just crazy to me about the amount of talent that's currently out there right now. And granted, Morikawa, I believe, is second right now in the PGA in the FedEx Cup standings, but he's still behind Justin Thomas. And Justin Thomas is
JT is one of the most consistent golfers
JT is
we've
one of the best right there. And Brooks Koepka, I was adamant that he was going to get up for a major, and he just shit the bed on
Shut
Sunday.
the fuck up. He'll be back.
He regrets
I
the
agree.
shit talking.
No,
Which,
I agree.
Honestly, giant little girl move to say you regret shit talking.
Yeah.
If you shit talk, you got to back it up.
I agree he will be back, but I was very disappointed in how he played Sunday, man.
He
was
played like shit.
Do you know
played
who
horrible.
Played like
Do you know who
shit
also played like shit when the chips were on the line?
Not Morikawa.
No, not Morikawa. Bryson DeChambeau.
Man,
Yeah, but here's what I'll say.
Bo finished 10 under, though, man. That was still
You
pretty good.
Bringing up DeChambeau when shit talking Brooks is like bringing up Jameis Winston when I'm talking about how good Tom Brady's going to be this year. They are not on the same. Bryson takes steroids and now he's top 10 golfer in fucking history.
I'm stunned that
Brooks
we're on the
is
same
a-
page about something for once.
Brooks is a number 1 golfer in the world candidate.
Yes.
Bryson DeChambeau is a meteor that is potentially skyrocketing through
Yeah.
the fucking roof because he's the real deal, but he's not there yet.
Well,
I'll take Rom over him.
so here's the deal. So
Ooh, that's a good hot take, actually.
It's your guy.
I watched just about the entire broadcast from Thursday to
beers and 18
Sunday
holes,
for
dude.
golf. I was locked in.
Sunday was great, by
It was
the way.
great.
It was great.
But Bryson has no fucking irons in his game. He cannot hit an iron to save his goddamn life.
Well-
if he has to use one, like if he's got to go to the pitching wedge or a sand wedge or whatever, he's fine. But if he has to use, like, let's say, a 9-iron, he will blast past the green.
Well, in this case, though, I mean, he doesn't need to because the whole purpose of him, like, bulking up
Then
during
he's not a
quarantine-
good golfer.
That's a weird statement.
What?
That you're not a good golfer if your game is to avoid using your irons.
Yeah.
That's like saying Dwight Howard's not a good basketball player because he doesn't have a 3 in his arsenal.
But, I mean,
But that's a position. He plays a position where he's not supposed to be
Position
shooting
on the
threes.
golf course. I mean, it's overall talent at the position. If you know your irons aren't that good, you're going to drive to your
yeah,
chip and then putt.
because in a weird way, like, the whole purpose of
I wish
getting
the camera
good...
was on your face, so I was looking at the fuckers at home. But I'm
because
looking at you now.
the whole purpose of being good at driving is to not have to use your irons as much as possible because you want to get it onto the green.
Have you seen Happy Gilmore?
Yeah. Yeah, screw putting, just
Yeah.
get it into the hole on the
Well,
first
that's
try.
like-
Hey,
way
Greg.
easier
Hey,
to
Greg.
just
Hey, Greg.
drive to it.
How do you feel about the home run derby that is Major League Baseball right now? Kind of sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
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 Fuck you, I'm right.
That
Wow.
was the dumbest insertion of another. That was a straw man theory.
No, I'm right.
How
I'm
the-
so right there.
So you're telling me that the base runner should hit it to the outfield and then take their second shot to hit it as a home run, or are we all just excited? I mean, a hole in one is a home run. It's a point, right?
Okay, but like there's
the fuck?
even
How do you
less
correlate
hole
those two
ones than there
things?
are fucking home runs.
How the fuck are you correlating a home run to a long drive where you're avoiding your putter?
I'm correlating it into the fact that like they're spending wasteless like so guys are going 1 for 4 and yeah they hit a home run, but most of the game's strikeouts and it's boring. Instead of seeing actual like talent being used every single shot, Bryson, if he's on the green, he can putt. The guy can fucking putt. But if he's got to shoot anything other than his driver or his putter, he's fucked. You might as well not even put him in the bag.
See, the reason I'm not getting your analogy
Okay.
is because you are saying that Bryson's ability to hit the green makes golf boring for you. That is the equivalent because you just asked Greg if baseball's boring with home runs. That's what you're saying. Bryson is boring golf because he hits the green on a drive on a par 4.
You said what I'm trying to make it equivalent to is you said that he has all the tools, and I'm arguing he doesn't. All he can do is hit home runs.
But he can putt, which you just said.
Right, he can putt
Okay.
and hit home runs.
Okay, so you're saying he's not a Okay,
And chip. You said he can chip too. So
You're saying he's not as well-rounded of a golfer as probably everyone else is because of the fact that he can use his irons.
Right.
Okay, that's understandable, but from the fact that the way DeChambeau's game essentially is from this perspective is that he's trying his hardest to not use his irons as possible. In regards to golf, though, I mean, that's kind of the objective right there because you want to get it as far as you can onto the green without having to use your irons, though.
Or if you're good at iron, you don't hit the driver because you hit it short so you can use your irons, which means you're not good at driver. Phil didn't carry a driver for like 6 years of his career. He hit 3-wood off the tee.
Right.
So does that make him a shit golfer because he doesn't drive?
In all seriousness,
See, I guess, like, literally, you explaining that, I'm like, that makes Phil like the Sidney Crosby of golf.
he is as rich, so I will give it
Because he's
that.
so good at the detail of the game.
That he can't use his driver?
Yeah.
It's that he didn't trust his driver.
Sidney Crosby can't shoot a slap shot to save his life.
So you think hitting a driver off a tee is the equivalent to a slap shot in hockey?
Yeah.
That's actually
It's
a good.
not. It's
I mean,
Greg, it's not.
dude.
Greg,
That's not
a
bad.
standing ball.
But like the fact,
Greg, it's not. Stop.
I'm just
Greg.
Greg,
Man.
Can't wait for Moorhead's rankings. Just won a solo Fortnite game. Boom, says Birdman Twitter.
Fuck you, man. You're shit at Fortnite.
I want a bencher golf outing, says Shrek. Shrek, I'm in for that. Death to Privilege, agree with Shrek. You are not saving yourself here.
Yeah, you got
Yes,
fired,
Shrek.
Scott.
Okay.
You need to hire again.
18 beers, 18 holes challenge. Oh, baby. Natty says, I'm so out of shape, I can't even walk a golf course. Is there
That's
any
not
carts?
good.
Absolutely,
That's
there'd
not
be
good.
carts.
Hopefully, there's a beer.
Leave
cart
Josh
too.
alone. Death to Privilege says, sticking up for me will not save you, Death to Privilege.
Yeah, you're digging a fucking hole right now, my guy.
Josh, I love your take on golf right now. Thank you.
Nah, you're dumb.
Yeah. But that's golf.
Giannis headbutted a guy and should be ejected for more than one game.
Man,
Let's
come
get on the ranking. He headbutted a fucker.
I just want to. Greg's not seen the clip.
Yeah,
so
I actually have not
just
seen
want
how
him to
bad
see
it was.
this.
What's Wagner?
So there's first off, it should not have been an offensive foul. It should have been a defensive foul. His feet
False.
were moving. His feet are moving.
Giannis left his feet.
Doesn't matter.
There's rules.
See, his feet are moving, and he engages
Yeah, they
contact.
definitely-
Look, he engaged. Look at him lean
Feet
forward.
set. Where were his feet moving?
His
His
left
feet
foot
was
sliding.
fucking set as shit.
His left foot sliding. So then here we are. This little fucking Matt Cook motherfucker. This Brad Marchand wannabe.
Wow.
Is talking shit to Giannis the whole time, walks towards him, and Giannis then
Giannis.
Look at him walking
Giannis.
towards him.
Headbutt. How? I mean, that's a fucking headbutt.
I'm impressed by the fact that
That Mo just walked away. Boom, headbutt. That's a headbutt.
I'm not disagreeing that it's a headbutt. I'm just saying that guy, as an agitator,
But it doesn't.
that guy knew what he was doing.
But that doesn't matter.
I know. And what did
That
I
never
say?
matters.
What did I say in that text message? I said, "What the
You said
fuck
Giannis
was
is
he
a little
thinking?"
bitch ass bitch.
Yeah.
You
I
said
was like,
that.
"What the fuck is he thinking?"
that was such a little nod too. By the way,
It wasn't a good headbutt.
It wasn't.
Point, though.
It
No.
wasn't.
It wasn't
Zidane's-
Zidane's headbutt to the chest.
No.
Zidane's wasn't good.
He tried
the
to-
Italian sold it.
No,
Marco
I.
Materazzi.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah?
this dude
Sold
like
it to fuck.
This dude sold it as fuck too.
Well, here's my thing.
Come on.
Anything that your head is going like this, no matter what it is, that's a headbutt. It just is. You know what I mean? Like it's a headbutt.
Yeah.
I mean it was a fucking headbutt. I don't know.
I
If
mean,
somebody does that to you in Southside, you fight them.
That's
Like,
true.
That's the
Somebody
equivalent.
does that on the south
That's
side.
true.
You
but
fight
I
them.
feel like one game though. I think it's fair for something like that.
One game? No.
It
You
wasn't
can't have-
that egregious.
Are you telling me that the face of the NBA right now headbutts a guy and it's one game?
Right. No,
That's my bigger
I
issue.
agree with Derek. Is that it should have been?
Is that if you
Should've been
want this
better.
kid, because LeBron, I would say probably still has his face, but Giannis is right fucking 1B.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you want to set, like, I mean, that's like Patrick Mahomes going up and headbutting someone.
Yeah, it's
you know what I mean?
No matter what, Greg, I'm fucking wearing a Bucks hat, and I'm like,
There's no way
he
to
should have been
spin it.
suspended
Man,
for
but
the
it was
first
just
series.
like, I just look at that thing. It honestly looked like the dude from DC just tried to sell
Wagner
it to
from
get
Michigan?
control. It really did. Like, just tried to sell it to make it look like it was worse.
I
than
mean,
it
that
was.
guy totally
I mean, James Harden
is
sells
goading
for
him.
a living.
He's goading him into doing it. That's for sure. But like, if you're Giannis, like, are the Wizards even gonna make the playoffs?
No.
Okay, so think about
they got
everything you have. You are a favorite in the East. You are supposed to make a championship run this year. Who cares what the fucking scrub from
Well, he also
the
got
Wizards?
bitch ass tossed to the ground a week ago.
Yeah, he did.
Nobody respects Giannis.
And he reacted crazy about that too.
Yep.
How much of it do you think is pressure?
None. I think he's just a little bitch.
Ooh,
Little weak ass minded bitch. Little bitch.
Could very well be.
that's very possible.
All right. So here's what we're gonna do.
The weak freak.
what are we gonna do?
Wow.
I think we should make that a
Where's my
shirt just
clip
because
it
of that.
button? Clip that. There we go.
Want to
make
become
that a
famous? Fuck yeah, PCOM AFIV421. Let's get famous, cuzzy. Suck my dick.
Oh man, I bet he's from my Instagram.
Big followers. Big fucking dicks.
All right, we're gonna take.
I'm scared to be famous. I don't want to be famous.
I
Get the
don't
fuck
either.
Out of here.
I really don't want
Yeah,
to be
you
famous.
definitely don't.
No,
want
I
to
do
be
not.
famous. That's the
I
truest statement
definitely
ever
do
said.
not.
We're gonna take a commercial break. We'll be back with the.
Hi, I'm Josh. I like pizza. Do you like pizza?
When the moon hits your eyes like a big pizza pie.
We've let it coagulate. Show Greg, king of coagulation there.
Coagulation is key.
Homemade Greek ranch.
Do you like watching people eat pizza? Help me, because I'm on the quest to find the best pizza in Pittsburgh.
Hand-forged pizza. Vita Vita Vici. That's amore.
Make sure you're sending in your recommendations for the best pizza in Pittsburgh, because I'm going to go, I'm going to try it, I'm going to hold it to my standards.
It's the aftertaste is the barf. Is where the barf comes
Oh,
in.
yeah.
I agree. It's bomb pizza.
Can your favorite pizza place pass the test? Find out.
We're calling it the Idiot Hour. Hey, Denny Hamlin, new NASCAR fan here.
You really gotta you gotta blow.
He wears the skull of his dead mother. And then when he finally copes with the death of his mother,
He becomes his
he
mother.
becomes Marowak.
Correction, Ovi is the greatest offensive talent we've ever seen.
I am.
E.
You dumbass.
We're back.
Ladies and gentlemen, Austin is my cousin. My cousin is the ranking, and the ranking brings the rankings. The one thing he does not bring is his face. But you can hear him. What's up, Austin? Good, buddy. We'll figure this visual thing out, but at the same time, as long as we can hear you, we'll be happy, happy people. Beard or beer? Okay.
Oh.
Well, I was gonna say because I've started doing the shave everything except the mustache look, and it's very predominantly mustache driven. But I do before you talk about your beer, I want to talk about your
Why is that not
hat.
coming up?
Did you see his hat when it was pulled up?
I did not.
It is a beautifully pink, pastel-looking hat with the Majin Buu M on it.
Ooh.
Big fan of that one, Austin. Big fan. Honestly, Josh, if you want to leave that up and then just can you put a screenshot of him? Guys?
If I knew how to take a screenshot on a PC, I would.
Control Shift 4.
Control Shift 4.
F4, I think. Me a favor. Just
There we
talk a
go.
lot.
There we go. It muted. It muted when I took the screenshot.
I'm sure.
Goddamn PC.
I'm sure that was it.
Hi, everybody.
I'm sure. Yeah. Window.
I would
key
just like to point
or
out that
Shift
none of
F.
these motherfuckers could figure this shit out. It's just me.
I figured out how to. Start
We are
the
not
puppet.
attempting to, for the record.
Shut up.
Bueno says we can't hear Yins.
I think they probably can now. I see our levels, so I would imagine.
Yeah. Fuck our fans and audience. We can hear ourselves. Josh is right. Fuck all of you.
Audio is
out. By
out.
Greg Skelp. I'm not happy this is happening, but for the record.
At least the Wi-Fi is great.
Yeah, true.
That's true.
We back.
Yeah.
We back.
All right.
So maybe they're on a delay.
I think they're probably delayed a little bit.
All right.
Josh's job is hard. No, the fuck it ain't, though.
All right. Moorhead, introduce.
I would look, but my phone's over there, so you have to look.
That's very
At
true.
what?
I hate this place.
Well, that's not good. You live here, man. What the hell?
Oh, shit, fuck, motherfucks.
Moorhead, introduce the ranking, buddy.
Good. Oh, my God.
Is the cereal put into the thought process at all? It doesn't sound like that good of a question. You answered it so quickly.
I feel like it was skewed a little bit, man.
Good question, you fucking idiot.
Cape May? Is that what you said? I wonder where that's from. All right. Can I leave? Can I fucking leave? I'm done. The day the Rank King fucking owns me live on air. I'm ready to fucking be done.
Wow.
Bueno, can you clip that? Thank you.
We love you, buddy.
Brody's embarrassed. His dad just got bitched on live Twitch. He's upset.
No. Go ahead, Austin. No.
Was Cool not added into it?
I guess not. News to me.
So what? Okay, tell us the criteria, Austin. Here's my other question. I learned in high school that the way you look and the way you dress makes you cool. So I'm curious as to how the way the guy looks and dresses is not.
I was gonna say, Moorhead, this is a very shallow ranking on your part.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Screw Votesh. He dresses like a nerd. All right, let's get it rolling. He's also, I would say, probably not the only one that's been in Family Guy? Question mark, maybe?
I knew Greg was gonna get mad.
Greg Scuff says Brody's really breathing in that mic. So I like the original rendition of the Cocoa Bird more than the more recent one.
I agree.
There was like an older one that looked a little bit. This one was like, I mean, he was fucking cuckoo. The last one had a little bit of like, oh, he's cool but cuckoo. The newer one's a little fucking cuckoo. Can people hear Austin?
I think so.
Okay, Vo said Austin speak words, and maybe they're delayed. Whatever. All right, Austin, let's get into 8.
When
I
you
have a question.
when you said trifecta, I was not expecting that.
There's another trifecta. I have a question. Are they all the same cereal?
I see it now.
Hold on one sec, Oz. Apparently no one's been able to hear you the whole time. Yeah, I just got a text. I'll tell a story.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll tell a story. Let me think of a story. So Greg used to be fat. And what? Wait, what? I used to be skinnier.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
Hang on, don't say anything. Austin, talk. He's real soft, but he's there.
All right. Well, there's my story. Greg used to be fat. So 10, 9, 8 are done. Let's go to number 7. This, in my opinion, should be top 3. Toucan Sam is transcendent. In what way? This is arguably the best cereal ever. Christopher said no.
Man, Austin, I disagree with you on this one. Like, in terms of just the fact that he just pops off
He had
of
fucking kids.
Yeah. He pops off the cereal box. Like, the color...
What other family? Toucan Sam had fucking children.
That's very true. Yeah. I can't confirm. But, yeah, like, just in terms of the fact that he just pops off the box and just the colors that he displays, I mean, he's arguably, I'd go with the most iconic of everything. Of all the cereal
mascots. There's one more that is more iconic.
That's fair. That's fair. But in terms of, like, maybe 90s, 2000s, I'd lean towards Toucan Sam in all seriousness.
At least he made the list.
At least, yes.
You never know with these rankings. So I'm now going to do a voiced dub while Austin gives his rankings.
Okay.
So people at home hear what he's saying.
I like it.
Okay. All right. So I'm Austin. and we're going to the next one. We're going to go to the next one. My name's Austin. Number 6. It comes to us from a place of comfort and happiness and sunshine. Okay, so everyone at home, okay. Sin, you say it again. I missed the dub. Lucky the little man. Letterman Charms. Letterman Charms.
Lucky the
Lucky
Letterman,
the
huh?
leprechaun with man. Lucky Charms are iconic too. Like, I understand this is a list that's tough. This is a tough ranking, and I'll give you that. But his
Now, okay, Austin, is it because of the fact that he just never allowed kids to have his marshmallows? Is that why he's so low on this list, just out of curiosity?
And to me, he's high for me because
yeah. Here's the one.
But it's probably
reason
because
I thought
it's-
he was going to be in the top 3 is because he used new products in the commercials to evade children, and then the new products was cereal.
But it's also probably because he, in the back of his mind, probably knew that the cereal wasn't necessarily good for kids. So in a weird way,
It was the old pot of gold syndrome.
in a weird way, he was probably protecting kids in the long run when you think about it.
No.
Maybe. Just saying.
I know you are just saying. Let's get to number 5. My name's Austin, and I do the ranking. I'm dubbing your voice for the people.
Keep it going.
Number 5 is so.
Now,
this is the one we.
that
thought
is
when
the
you were
trio
saying
I immediately
Cheerios,
thought
because
of,
that is
yeah.
one cereal. Top 3 again. There's the 3 that I instantly thought of was Toucan, these guys, and one more that luckily is still out there. But I like their place. Here's what I think is the thing that would put them in the top 3 for me. They are by far, no holds barred, the greatest outside of cereal invention ever.
Yep.
And the Rice Krispie treat.
Can get with that. And they even have commercials with them promoting the actual treat too. So that's how you know that they can cross brand right there.
It's just they made those you remember those old cereal bars where the bottom was I don't know if it was decompressed milk or whatever, but the bottom was like a layer of milk cream, and then the top was whatever cereal. I remember looking at those. I'm like, oh, meh. But Rice Krispie treats, wow.
Yep.
So I would say top 5's fair. Number 4.
Okay.
Yeah, that's number 1.
Man.
Captain Crunch is the greatest cereal mascot ever created, and it's not even close, even though he's an admiral technically.
That is true. He is. All right, Moorhead, I need some explanation on this, and hopefully Dee can do a very good job of dubbing this to entertain the masses right now.
There are 3 that are more. So basically, guys, Austin says that he's never eaten cereal.
Nope.
And because he never ate cereal growing up, he doesn't actually understand the significant impact that is Captain Crunch, and the fact that they used to shoot the berries at each other from a ship, and the fact that they worked with Kith, Kicks in the Head, one of the greatest boutiques in New York, and did a collab for Saturday morning cartoon. I could go on for hours. Captain Crunch is the king.
He also clearly never had
But that was Austin, not me.
He also clearly never had peanut butter toast crunch either. Oh God, that was great.
So there's 3 left, Austin, right? He said yes. I can think of 1, 2, which I definitely don't agree with the 1, but I know it's in there. 3. I got them all.
I think I have 2 of them. Although I feel like one of them is definitely cheating because it's probably a famous cartoon that I could think of. What?
Hold on. Let's dive in to the number. Well, Josh is standing up, so we can't technically move the screen yet, so I was trying to stall.
Yeah.
But Austin jumped the gun into number 3. Let's move into number 3.
Sorry. Number
You're fine, buddy.
3 is the Trix Rabbit. Trix.
I would have him at 4 on the outside looking in of a couple of them because the cereal was booty cheeks.
The yogurt was better.
The rabbit is iconic.
The yogurt was better.
The yogurt sticks.
Yes.
They had their own. But yeah, Trix the Rabbit deserves to be. I would put him at 4, I think. But he was basically a Saturday morning cartoon for cereal.
That's a great way to put it.
The one thing you have to look at with this is that where Lucky Charms was trying to keep the cereal away from the kids, this was all centered around the kids keeping the cereal away from the rabbit, which made very, very entertaining skits and everything, almost like Derek said, like a Saturday morning cartoon. And they even had days every year where they voted if the rabbit could have the cereal. And they would play that cartoon.
God, that cereal was just so ass.
You're basically calling Trix the Rabbit a tragic hero.
I am.
I think he has an addiction, Austin.
Yeah.
All right, Austin, let's get into the top 2, brother. Now I can hear Austin, Greg Scalp says so.
Number 2 is Buzz Bee the Bee, Honey Nut Cheerios.
There are
Oh, man.
a couple iconic ones left off this list. But the work that Buzz the Bee has done for cholesterol across America puts him in the top 2.
I mean, that's technically why, a big part of why he is at number 2, for the fact that he promoted a cereal that wasn't necessarily the, like, most calorie or, like, really, like, sugary cereal, but it's been around forever, and they had multiple little commercials and everything with him putting his little bee wand, shooting honey. It was hilarious, and I loved it. And he deserves number 2.
He should have been cast for the Bee movie.
He really should have. Really should have.
Can you imagine, like, he just, like, has a commercial break, and you get how he actually talks and everything?
Yeah, would have loved it.
I mean, Jerry Seinfeld was pretty good as the Bee. Don't get me wrong on that one either.
So, I have a question.
Rabbit select.
Okay. Is number 1 obvious?
I think it should be at
Okay.
this point.
Can we give some honorable mentions?
Okay.
There was so here's what I thought was going to happen. I definitely thought the CT Crunch guy was going to be in here, even though I don't know his name. I thought the cop and the dog for the cookies, but I don't know their name.
I thought for sure Fred Flintstone would be on here just for Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles alone.
That might be cheating.
Hence, I
That might be
mean,
cheating. That might be cheating.
it's a cereal mascot, so, and he already said it's not a cartoon mascot, so that's why I'm kind of like a little annoyed by that.
So, Greg, my reasoning is that I wanted mascots that were created specifically to promote the cartoon, whereas Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble were already characters developed in a show, then was used to promote a cereal.
Man, I feel like you're thinking way too hard about that then, if you're going into the weeds like that.
Nope.
What other kind of cereals were there?
I mean, I can think of like the Golden Bear from Honeycrisp.
Sugar Bear.
Sugar Bear, thank you.
Krill.
Off the top of my head,
So there was another one that I can't think of that was iconic. Yeah, the CT Crunch guy was a big one. The wolf thing.
From Cookie Crisp, I believe.
Yeah.
It was just a basic rip-off of the Trix Rabbit, I would think.
You're a Trix Rabbit knockoff. Raisin Bran Sun.
Yeah.
Which is, tastes gross. I definitely think you could have broken up the Boo Berry guys, but I understand. Oh, who's that one in the right? Josh, the guy with the big eyes. It was Honeycomb.
Honeycomb. Okay.
The little ball of fur looking dude. I can't think of many other ones. Big Mix Moose.
That's interesting.
But since I think we've gotten to a place where all the main ones were named, except for the box of Steel City O's that I have with Max Talbot and Heinz Ward on them. What is the number one cereal
Underrated,
mascot?
by the way. Just throwing that out there.
Number one, boys, is Tony the Tiger, Frosted Flakes.
Mm-hmm.
They're great.
So Tony would have been 2, man. I love Cap, but here's the thing about Tony. Tony left cereal and basically became the Gatorade ad of your morning. I mean, he became the athletic.
For kids, yeah, essentially.
He was the athletic cereal guy. He was, you're an athlete? Come on, we're Tony the Tiger. I don't understand what a tiger named Tony has to do with cornflakes.
Were they essentially trying to make Tony the Tiger the Wheaties for kids, basically?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
I feel like that was kind of like the marketing gimmick right there. If that was
is the
get-go.
grossest thing you've ever put on screen, Josh. I don't know what that tiger is. It's terrifying. There's
It's the Exxon Tiger.
The
The Exxon Tiger.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't think you left any off, really. There was another one I thought of, but I couldn't. Whatever. Like it. Just would have reorganized my own way because I'm a huge CT Crunch. Maybe a little bit. Low Captain Crunch. Big Crunch guy.
Big Crunch.
Big Crunch.
Oh, man. Austin, thank you very much for your ranking, brother. Always appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys tuning in, commenting along. It's the whole point of the move to Twitch. We will see you guys Monday, Idiot Hour. Wednesday, Thoughts in the Movies. Next Thursday, Tubers Deep, as well as the Tubers Deep podcast and the Hodo video whenever it drops next week.
Whenever.
But we will also have video game streaming and stuff like that coming next week, and very excited, and more events on the way. We appreciate everyone in here. Check out the vlog tomorrow that is behind the scenes of this because I have to make fun of Bueno, and we will see you guys next week.
Say goodnight, Derek.
I'm going to eat pizza.